law of sines, and I'm going to do number 1 and number 2, and that leaves you 4 through 10 to work on. Don't worry about the next page. We're never going to do anything that difficult in this section. So I'll do 1 and 2, leaving you 3 through 10, and the answers can be found on this last sheet. Okay, so looking at number 1, we basically have sine of A over A equals sine of B over B equals sine of C over C. Well, they want us to find AC. The letter we would give that is little b. We have the degrees in angle B, and we're finding the side B. Okay, we have the degrees in A, but we don't have the side. We don't have the degrees of C, but we do have the side. Now, this is not a right triangle, so I'm not sure how we would find this missing side. We cannot do A squared plus B squared equals C squared. If we found this one, we could keep on going and eventually use law of sines to find this other missing side, but we don't need it. We just need AC. To find this angle C, though, triangle sum theorem says every triangle in the world adds up to how many degrees? Hopefully you thought through 180. So if I go to my tools to show my work, because I should always show my work, I start with 180, I subtract off 22, and I subtract off 118, which equals 118 plus 22, 140. It equals 40. So and I could say that, stretch out, that equals angle C, right? I'm just going to put it up here. So that means we now can put, so I need sine of degrees over side, sine of the 40 over opposite, this angle is 24 over 24 would equal the sine of 22 over what we need, B, or AC as they're calling it right there. So that means we can then put it in a calculator. Sine 22 times 24. So we'll actually do in your calculator sine 22, close the parentheses, times 24 will equal sine 40 times B. It has an 8.99 all the way across the calculator, and then divide by the sine 40, and this has 13.98682567 to the nearest tenth. That is 14. So basically we took sine of 22 times 24 and then divided by sine 40 and got 14, which equaled the B, or AC, as they happen to have it. 14 is your final answer on this. Similar idea every time. Sine of A over A, sine of B over B, sine of C over C. We want to find AB, or little c. We have the angle opposite. We have an angle and a side opposite, so we're going to use B and C. We're going to ignore A. So sine of, we don't even have to do any extra. We have all that we need. Sine of 44 goes over the 7, because 44 is sitting opposite 7, would equal sine of 53 over what we need, C. Again, sine 53 times 7 divided by sine 54. So sine 53, close the parentheses in my case, times 7 divided by sine 44. I get 8.0477, rounds to the nearest tenth of just 8. So AB equals 8. That's how you do law of sines.